Hello, my grade 5 students. It's our SST lesson. From the previous week, we discussed lesson 2, Fighting for Independence. So just to recap, we've learned about the challenges the Continental Army faced early in the Revolutionary War and some battles in the North. We also read about people from the other countries who fought with the Americans and the other nations that supported the American cause. Alright, so this time we're going to discuss the part 1 of lesson 3, Winning Independence. Let's begin with our learning objective. By the end of the lesson, students will be able to identify the major battles and campaigns of the Revolutionary War. Basically, this lesson describes how the focus of the war shifted to the South during the second half. Revolutionary heroes. During the Revolutionary War, students, the Continental Army and Navy received help from many civilians or people not in the military. Again, students, civilians are not soldiers or sailors, but ordinary citizens. During that time, a number of men and women rose to fame or prominence, and countless others are distinguished themselves by their courage and patriotism. Like Nathan Hale, a teacher who was served as an American spy in New York City. When you see spy, he's a person who keeps secret watch on a person or thing to get information. Unfortunately, when he was captured, the British hung him. All right, another hero during the Revolutionary War was John Paul Jones, an American Navy commander who battled larger British ships. So the Britain class asked him to give up during one battle in the North Sea. Jones didn't surrender. Instead, he kept on fighting until the British ship gave up. American women grade 5 also won fame for their bravery during the war. One of them was Ludwig Hayes Macaulay, also known as Mary Hayes. She earned the name Molly Pitcher by carrying fresh water to American troops during the Battle of Monmouth in New Jersey in 1778. Her husband got wounded, so she took his place in the battle by loading the cannons and fought for the rest of the day. As word of fight class for freedom spread, more volunteers to help Americans came. The Jos Kosciuszko left Poland to serve in the Continental Army. What he did, he helped design the planned fort at West Point, New York, which is now part of the United States Academy. All right, so let's answer this question. What caused Mary Macaulay to take part in the Battle of Monmouth? First is that her husband was wounded and she took his place. During the Revolutionary War, students, it was not only 1, 2, or 10 major battles. Let's study the map and find out various battles happened between American and British. First, look at the map key. All these areas were American colonies and the rest were under British and Spanish colonies. And this blue symbol class stands for American victory, and the other one in red stands for British victory. For example, the latest battle we've learned was the Battle of Saratoga in New York, right? And it occurred in 1777, and you can see the symbol that shows American victory. Based on the map, students, what region did most of the war's early battles take place? Obviously, in the Northeast region. And when the British learned grade 5 that the French were helping the Americans, they decided to move the fighting to the south. They concluded to refocus their efforts on the southern colonies. And since the British had already captured many important cities in the north part of the United States, they now hoped to defeat the Americans in the south before French help could arrive. Then the British knew that many loyalists live in the south. Again, loyalists, the one remained loyal to the king. And remember grade 5 that the southern economy depended on exporting cash crops to Britain. So many southerners were loyalists because their livelihood depended on maintaining good trade relations with the British. Then the British lost several battles along the frontier or border, including the Battle of Vincennes in what is now Indiana. And also, Savannah, Georgia was Britain's first target in the South. And on November 25, 1778, there were about 3,500 British soldiers landed near the town. Then they quickly attacked the American soldiers who were trying to defend Savannah. Alright, so to sum up this part of the lesson class, after the French pleased to support the Americans, the focus of the war or wars fighting moved south. Then the British captured some important southern port cities. Alright, so that's for today. Always stay safe and bye for now.